Okay, we are live.
Hello.
Hello, Alinka, and welcome to the Celebrate Life podcast. This
Hi.
is a 48th episode of the Celebrate Life podcast. Last time you were here in 2019, and that was my last time that I was in club. So welcome
Yes.
back in Skopje. I
Thank
hope that
you.
you feel good as you feel always when you're coming here.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here. And it's nice to see everyone again after 2 years almost.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
This is your fourth time, oh no, fifth time. I think it's fifth time.
It's fourth or fifth.
Fourth or fifth. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I
I
also
have
forget
I
because
have been listening you 3 or 4 times, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
the last 2 years are a blur, so I think
Yeah,
everybody's
that's
in like
why.
a time I don't know what
Yeah, this podcast actually started in the pandemic,
Mhm.
and it was a time how to reflect everything what was happening and how the people and my friends are reacting on this called new life, which I don't like at all.
Yeah. I hope
Uh,
it's not the new life.
yeah.
It's
I will
temporary.
open it with one topic. It was really sad seeing the DJs and the producers how they were reacting on social media. And one point you said, "Fuck this! I will not become a UX designer. I will make an
Oh yeah.
album." And that was most lovely stuff. I love your statuses. I'm following you
Yeah,
and
I was
laughing all the time. And I really like how you react on social media, which is
Thank you.
it's nice. Uh, how was the last 2 years, and how is going with an album?
Uh, well, I think everybody had the same roller coaster. It
Yeah,
was just up and down on different days, and you just learn to survive and you do your best. And sometimes you're creative and you're getting a lot done and you're happy, and other times you want the world to end and you're like,
yeah.
just hit planet Earth already. We're ready. I think this is
Man, it was
it's a
so.
yeah, and I live alone, so lockdown was quite crazy, and it's a bit difficult only speaking to people on Zoom. Luckily, I live near my friends, so we could go on walks and this kind of stuff. But we had lockdown from I think early November 2020 until
Yeah, yeah. That was a
May.
big,
It was a
big
really long,
lockdown.
and part of it curfew and things like that. And then my family is obviously in the U.S., so it was difficult when you
Hmm.
can't travel. It was the
Yeah,
first time I felt weird living in Germany. Actually, and it's been 6 years. It was like the first time I felt far from my family because I couldn't go there even if I wanted. Yeah, so that was weird, but
at one point, actually, it was really good that all of the people were online, so you don't have to act weird that you are not doing something.
yeah,
Which is what at one point good, but it was really sad, because
yeah,
locked on home,
yeah, yeah.
afraid of what was happening and
Mhm.
everything. And I
And then all
hope,
the live streams.
yeah,
Some
and
of them are great.
it wasn't real. Come on, I cannot enjoy. I'm a club kid. I want to go in clubs,
Yeah,
and streams were good actually.
yeah.
They
The
changed
good
a
ones were great.
Yeah,
And it was nice to see people that you really want to see that you haven't even seen DJ, that you have the time to do it. But yeah, some of them it was just overkill because then it was like everyone is doing a stream from their house on Facebook, and you just can't go online anymore, and you're like, and also I'm not I mostly play clubs where cameras aren't allowed.
yeah,
So I'm not used to this kind of uh yeah, it's not my thing. I don't love being on camera when
yeah.
I'm playing and this kind of stuff. It's like I really have anxiety, and I'm
I-
quite shy even when I'm
mhm.
not, so it's a bit difficult to
Yeah,
adjust.
it was big agenda, and
Yeah.
I wasn't able to following all the streams, even if I
Yeah.
wanted to stream.
Yeah, I follow the good ones, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So, did you make any new music?
Yeah, I made a lot of music.
Which is
I
good.
mean, I think in the beginning I was putting a lot of pressure on myself because we're stuck at home to be try to be productive because you're not working and you don't know what's happening or how long it's going to last. And then after a few months I was like, no, I need to be creative when I feel like it, because some days you feel really sad and you don't want to force yourself. I don't like forcing music. I always have to do it when I feel like making stuff or I'm not happy with the result. So I did a lot of music, but it was like spread out. I think it's just when I'm really in the mood to work, I work quite fast. So I'll have like 2 weeks where I finish a lot, and then I just don't work for a week or two,
The
and I take
remix
a
that
break.
the remix that came out a week ago, did you made
On
it in
Get
the
Physical.
pandemic? Or?
That was in the last few months. I
Ah,
mean, I think I did like 8 or so remixes like in the
wow.
last year and a half. And they're not all out yet. And then I did some of the EPs that came out were from the year before, but then I still have new stuff, and I'm
But-
sitting on a lot of like now I haven't even sent any of the new stuff I'm working on out because I want to just have like a collection of things before I decide what to do with it. So I never made the album because I kind of realized like for me what I want with an album is a lot of collaborations with different vocalists and like full session. Like it just didn't feel like that time. Like when you're isolated and alone, it doesn't feel like the album that I want to make. I want to make it with other musicians, and I think it's like a long-term project for me. I didn't
Which
want
is
to.
good.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just finishing like a lot of releases and stuff. So
Congratulations for the
Thank you.
releases. Yeah, and when you're creative, you cannot push things. You know.
yeah,
If you want to work, you're gonna work, and when it comes, it comes.
exactly.
You cannot say today, okay, today I will be creative and I will make an album. No,
No.
it's forcing,
Yeah,
and it's not important.
yeah.
You're raised in Chicago.
Yeah.
You are from Ukraine,
Ukraine.
but you have been moved to Chicago.
Yeah, when I was 7.5, we left.
Oh, cool! So you
So I
have
remember
been.
quite a bit from Kiev. Also.
So most of your childhood was based on Chicago and all the influences there.
Yeah, since the late 80s. So yeah, it was a good time, I guess, to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your residency in the Panorama Bar was 7 years.
In Smart Bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Smart
I
Bar.
was
Yeah.
like, I wish I was.
You
a
know,
better-
actually, how I met you for the first time. So there was some article, and the reporter was saying that there are some at least few people who are keeping Chicago house weird.
Yeah, it was this writer Terry
don't know who
for
did
Five
it.
Magazine in Chicago
Yeah,
said that,
but-
and I was like, this is my favorite quote about.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like this.
But-
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was my friend Justin Long. It was his residency, and then I was like one of the opening residents. So I played almost every month for years with him on and off. So that's kind of where like he was one of my mentors, and I played a lot with him when I was younger because I was like 21 when he started the party. So it was like right when I can get into clubs. So I was still like really new. I think less than or 2 years into DJing. So a lot of it came from opening that room and like getting my skills in front of a crowd and doing longer sets. and
That is so
opening.
good. He gave you support to
Yeah.
start something.
Yeah.
That
And I think opening is like really important. If you know how to open a room, you can. Headlining is quite easy compared to this.
That's
Like
true.
doing an opening set for years, you gain a lot of different skills and different music and this kind of stuff. So
and actually, you have been opening there for a lot of DJs and musicians.
yeah.
There was.
I mean, in
because-
Chicago, you had to open before anyone lets you do anything because you had to earn your place. So this was like everyone
Especially
knows
in
how to do an
Smart
opening
Bar.
set, and they know how to play any time of the night because they did those years opening rooms and stuff. So, yeah, but now things change obviously.
Yeah,
with
I
social media.
never been in Smart Bar, but hopefully one day I will go.
It's
But
great.
Smart Bar is still one of most respected clubs in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and also you have been played on amazing places, on amazing quality parties, not just on mainstream events. I'm not saying that mainstream events are bad, but you have been played all over the world, and
Yeah,
I was
I've been very
remember.
lucky the last
Yeah.
years. So, yeah.
What was the most memorable and the place when you have been played? I'm listening. I'm reading also a lot about the
Yeah.
Kiev now. That the
Yeah.
Kiev scene is really good at the moment.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Also, Andy Butler says that
Mhm.
he had an amazing time in Kiev.
Yeah. I mean, my experience there was like, I didn't go from 1988 until this club booked me. Then they opened 2 years ago. So that's like my family, and that's where I play, now. So I always wanted to go there, and I always heard about Closer and the other clubs, but just to see it in
Mm.
person and kind of grow with this club, and like the team is amazing. The crowd is really special, and it's been really crazy because I grew up there, so it's very meaningful for me. I remember I was like crying the whole time I was playing the
Wow.
first 5 times because I mean it's crazy that the music is what brings you back like 30 years later that you didn't from your home, you know, because we left like almost overnight. I didn't know we were leaving Ukraine when we left because it was still USSR, so it was quite crazy time to
Yeah.
leave, like for refugees and stuff. But yeah, no, it's a great. Like everyone from Berlin's flying there to go clubbing now too.
I'm
you
seeing
know?
that.
Yeah, and the
It's
lineups are great. It's like it's really interesting and diverse lineups, and not just like booking, you know, predictable headliners and stuff.
It's like
So it's
Vilnius when it was one period. It was Vilnius like that,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of people traveling to Vilnius. So probably that is Kiev. Now I haven't been in Kiev.
Yeah,
Also, I haven't been in Tbilisi, and I want to go in
I
Tbilisi.
want to go there too.
Ah, you haven't been
No,
in
no,
Tbilisi?
no.
Okay.
But I went to see Sean, who I do twirl with, play
Mhm.
this last weekend, and one of the residents played in Kiev from Tbilisi, and he was amazing. And I was like, "You play techno how I like it, like the techno that I grew
Wow.
up on was super interesting." And
Yeah, but it's a young crowd, right?
it's mixed actually.
Oh, cool.
It's not just young. The first times I played, it felt like more local crowd, and then people started traveling there. And now it's like all the flights in the summer were like people going to the club. It was like from Berlin, it was like a party bus. It was so crazy. We get on
Wow.
the flight and it's all DJs and kids going raving and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, I just kept seeing my friends, like, their stories, like, we're going to Kiev and everybody talking about it. So it was a nice progression. And obviously, I want the club to do really well because they're really great. Yeah,
Wow.
but memorable.
So we have to
places.
go in Kiev.
You have to go. Yes.
Hopefully there will be no lockdowns again, so we will gonna have to.
Yes. I'm kind of yeah. It's a difficult time because you can't predict anything or look forward to anything, and this whole summer I was like every time you look forward to gigs, sometimes they get
Yeah.
canceled last minute and you're like, okay, I just
Okay.
wait day by day.
How was the feeling when you played for the first time after the pandemic? Did you remember it? I remember that you were
was
in
crying for
Panorama
sure.
Bar, and you have been played for opening for Robert Johnson also.
Yeah, that was my first time in Robert Johnson.
Ah,
that was
really?
really crazy.
Oh,
Yeah. That
I
was a
love
big-
that
I've been
club
waiting to
and
play there
everything
forever,
they
yeah.
did, and the
It's
artworks.
amazing. It's a really crazy because it's like you know, it's not a gigantic space, but it feels like that you're hugging the entire audience for hours. Like you can feel, like you could see every person, and you feel
Oh,
the
that-
energy in the room, and
It's a
really,
family. It's a family club.
It's really like yeah, it's you know don't experience things like that often, so it was really nice.
I
to
love
go
the
there.
DJ booth, how it
Mhm.
looks, and especially
And the sound is amazing.
Yeah, it's 50 to 100 people, right? Or not?
I think maybe it's 200 or something like or 250. But it's,
Wow.
yeah,
Congratulations to Ata for keeping
it's
the
amazing.
Robert Johnson
yeah, yeah.
alive.
And Pal was really great. Also, it was my first time in Pal in Hamburg.
Mm.
Panoramas obviously.
Yeah,
always. I mean,
Panorama.
every gig I had was amazing. I can't say. I think everybody
That's
was so
good.
ready to
You
go
know,
back to
it's really-
parties
yeah,
that like you
y-
can't
you-
have a
you-
bad show. Doesn't matter if it's 50 people or 1,000 people. Everybody's just so happy to be there, and then you can't. I think even before I used to focus so much on what I'm doing and not look up at the crowd, and now I'm like really looking up a lot more and interacting with people because you kind of just you miss that energy and you miss playing for people. It was like I had to play in my house alone for 2 years,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's really nice.
That's why I love your sets, because you always have communication with the crowd.
Yeah,
You're not the DJ who is just in the DJ booth.
yeah,
You always have a connection with the people, which is really good.
yeah. Well, you have to. That's why you're there, kind of. You know, I used to just when I played records, though, I was always just like.
But you,
But I think it's also because I'm shy, so it depends. Like if there's
Uh-huh.
no cameras, I can connect a little bit more. But when there's cameras, I'm like, okay, now I have to smile and I have to think about what I'm doing a little bit more with my face. But you get used to it, I guess.
yeah, you have been DJing for almost 15 years.
It's 20. I started in 2000, so it's almost 22
Ooh.
years, 21 years now.
21 years.
On and off. I quit for a few years to do a band thing. It was
Mhm.
still electronic, but not. Yeah, but yeah, I started. 20
And
years.
where are the influences from for the acid? Because
My cat or the
no,
the
no,
music?
the music. Greetings to Acid the cat. What have you been listening as a kid? Because Acid House is.
Yeah. I think when I listened to like House on the radio when I was 13, 14, I didn't know what it was at all. I
Mhm.
was just like making mixtapes for my basketball team and copying like DJ Funk and like Percolator and all this stuff because I liked it, and I was like, I don't even know what this music is. And then as soon as I got to like 18, 19, when I went to university, then I actually started seeing DJs because we had one club at my university. So we went 3 days a week to the same club and started driving to raves. And I got that's when I started like really checking the magazines and learning all the producers and buying the records and stuff like that. So then I gained a bit more knowledge and moved back to Chicago. And
Yeah.
yeah, but I think as a teenager, I had no. I was like listening to Nirvana and then Janet Jackson and then Kashmir. But
Which is
yeah.
not that bad.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, yeah. Chicago has a lot of like ministry and other
Mm,
different kinds of music.
yeah. How was the moment when you decided to move to Berlin? Because Chicago is a big thing also in the music industry and
Yeah.
in the house, and Smart Bar is there. And what has changed since you moved to Berlin? I'm asking you this because a lot of people from the USA actually is moving to Berlin, and
Yeah.
even in Europe, because I don't know, maybe because of the connection of the flights and everything. But Berlin is still Berlin, and it won't change for a long. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I moved. I don't know how to explain it, but I tell people that it's funny. Like the first year I was there, it was like my cat's doctor, my dentist, and my doctor, and like random older people that you would never expect to even know what the hell a DJ is. Were like, "Oh, you play in Panorama Bar? Can we get on the guest list?" And I was
Wow.
like, my accountant, like, she's like, "Yeah, there should be more female DJs." And I was like, it's just strange to be in a place where people don't think that you're weird, that you're still doing music and you're 40 and you're going to nightclubs, and it's so supported there, and there's such a community that I knew I wanted to live there. From when I visited, I was like, this is where I would rather grow old. Like, it's not ageist. There's like 7-year-olds at the club. Like, it's like you don't have to feel like your life is half over, and it makes you more creative and more open because you don't have this like weird pressure from society. And I think art generally, it's really appreciated and respected in music and stuff. So I just found it
Yeah.
very inspiring. So it wasn't even that the scene or the connecting flights. I was just like, I have to live here before I die. This is kind of where I feel at home. And also it was like,
Which is good.
I knew I lived in Chicago for so long, I had to live somewhere else. So I was deciding between like New York and LA, and I never really felt that connection there. So I was taking all these, like, just saving money and not knowing where to go. And then I came to Berlin 2015, and I did like 2 shows. And I just came home and sold everything and bought a flight like 5 months later and just came.
Did you move your your vinyl records to?
No, they're still with my father.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a little sad. I have a little
But
collection.
you have a big collection.
I sold some, but I still have like 10 big boxes worth.
Okay.
But I'll move them eventually.
Okay, cool. If you
Yeah.
decided to live in Berlin. Yeah, most of the people are thinking that when you're going to parties and when you're a DJ or artist, it's something that you should do when you're young. And that's why you actually said that. It's not a
Yeah.
phase, it's a lifestyle, actually. And
But they think you're weird even when you're 20 and you're doing this. They're like, you're wasting your life, or do you want to be a DJ? It's like teacher, doctor, lawyer, and then everything else is like, your profession is shit.
because probably most of the people are not following what they want to do,
Yeah.
and they want to fit in the society and to feel
But
okay
I-
with that. And
But I think when you find a place that really like appreciates you and respects what you do, like my music got so much better, and I became a better DJ because I finally like felt comfortable. I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah.
you just grow a lot as a person and as an artist when you're surrounded by
good producers, artists,
people that are
yeah.
inspiring and also like welcoming, and appreciate what you're doing and stuff. So I love it for that. It was
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, feeling inspiring and doing inspire from what you want. I think it's really important, and I'm wishing you to continue to be inspired and
Thank
to
you.
never stop about
I'm
that.
trying.
Yeah. 5 years ago, you opened at Twiddle Level. with Sean J?
2014.
2014. Oh,
Split
sorry.
with it. No, don't worry.
That's a
My
lot.
my time
Wow.
thing is like really because of the corona is just really. I
Yeah.
don't even know how many years
And
it's been.
I really love in the Twiddle that you're making really good selection of the producers,
Yeah.
and it's not it's not releasing music every month, etc.
Yeah.
It's really good selected and curated. And did
Thank
you and Sean talk about that lot and deciding what to release, or it's just natural?
We released a lot more in the beginning because I think, well, the first couple of years it was our music, and then we had
Mhm.
remixes from friends, and then we kind of started releasing other artists, and then we were still releasing on other labels. Now it's a little bit more curated and slower, but it's also like everything slowed because of pandemic and just, we live on different sides of the planet, but we're still always talking about it. And we always wanted to like release our friends and people that we really respect and admire, and that was a big thing to keep it
Yeah,
family and stuff.
which is good.
Yeah.
What will be something new for the Twiddle Records?
The next one we have Gordo, who's already on the label. He's our friend Serge. He's also a filmmaker. He's really amazing. And then Sean and DJ Holographic from Detroit did remixes. So that should be like early next year.
Cool. Follow Twiddle Records. Buy records.
Thank you.
At this moment, I really love that girl DJs are in focus.
Yeah.
Starting from the UK, from the Moxie, Shanti Celeste, and all that girl gang. And how is the feeling to be a girl DJ? I'm asking you this because DJing is a bit boys club and masculine and stuff. Have you ever experienced something in that way? There is, I know that there's a lot of sexism in the industry. Have
Yeah.
you ever experienced that? Because I know that machism
Yeah.
and saying, "Oh, you're a girl, you cannot DJ, you cannot mix in. Oh, you're playing vinyls and stuff like that."
I think we've all experienced it in like some level or some, certain people just like not giving you the time of day
Support.
until they figure out who you are. But you always remember people. Like I always said, I worked passing out flyers. I've done the coat room. I've done like signatures at the club when I was younger. So I always said like you treat everybody the same, from the person working in the toilets to the DJ. You would never
That
know
is
who
how you
someone's
treat
gonna be.
people, yeah.
In 5 years. And yeah, I mean, you always remember who's like a nice person and who's nice to you as soon as they figure out you're also DJing or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone, all the like, I don't know any women that haven't experienced it on
That's
some
awful.
level.
I'm sorry that you
Yeah.
have been experienced that.
I mean, I think the world is experienced. It's not just
But
for DJs,
yeah,
but
but
yeah, it's just I think
girl-
it's changing a lot though. It's
yeah.
really nice. I'm so happy that there's more and more
DJs, girls.
women and just even collectives and people teaching, like I know in Berlin they're doing like lessons for
Which is
yeah.
really good.
Yeah. I think it will keep going that way, and there'll be a lot more opportunities for producers and
Yeah,
for
especially
DJs as well.
I remembering on the festival listening to people. Oh, she's a girl. She's mixing. I was like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck
Or
it.
people assume that like you don't make your own music. Or,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, all this
And
kinda-
especially
or,
when
or that you dated someone. That's how you got
yeah,
ahead
who's
and all
making
this
your
other-
music?
Yeah.
That's awful. That's shitty machism. Cut
But that's
that.
okay. You just show them how to
Yeah, how to do
how
it.
to DJ properly, and then they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, that was always my thing. If someone's gonna look at me or judge me based on anything that's not skills, I'll just show them up even more. It was like, okay, now, and then they're fine. Then they have nothing to say. So that's just how you have to do it. I think.
Yeah. There is something on your mind that was on the focus last year of the music that you have been listening to suggest something to the people who are listening to us at the moment. It shouldn't be electronic music. Something that was really memorable for you last 2 years. If
I'm
you
trying-
don't remember, it doesn't matter.
I don't remember the last 2
Oh, that
years.
doesn't.
No, I'm kidding. I'm trying to think. I have no idea. I'm
Doesn't
so sorry.
matter.
I've listened to so much music the last
Yeah,
years, but also
overload
like
of music.
I can't like I get more inspired visually, so I like to look at art or like go to museums and this kind of stuff, and that's when I
Cool.
write all my music. But I never listen to music to get inspired to write music, so a lot of times I wasn't even. It was
Okay.
just like I listen to music in my downtime when I'm not
Yeah.
thinking, so I don't even know.
You're playing tonight for the Terapia first birthday party. Terapia is actually a project who was raised in the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But I was starting to make streams with the DJs.
Amazing streams.
and
See, I watch all hers.
Yeah, and her first stream from the Macedonium
Mm-hmm.
with TNT was
I saw that.
boom. And what can people expect from you tonight? I know that you love Skopje,
Yes, I do.
and we have been experienced that a lot of times.
Yes.
And thank you for being so lovely for playing here
Thank you so
always.
much. I think, I mean, we're going to have a good party. You have to play like I haven't seen you in 2 years, so we have to impress people and, you know, just make sure everyone's smiling and having fun. Yeah.
Okay. There is something else that you want to share with us?
I can't believe that I
I
don't
don't
remember
want
any
to-
music of the last 2 years. That's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's like the DJ that doesn't know any music.
But
No,
listen,
okay.
it's no. I think it's normal, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of overload from the music and
Yeah.
stuff. So
I mean, I'm liking like a lot of stuff on permanent vacation and running back and these kind of labels and
permanent
yeah.
vacation is
So, yeah, yeah.
cool.
That's my recommendation. of
Yeah,
it.
excellent.
Yeah.
I'm Indog. This is Alinka. She was my guest on the 48th episode of the Celebrate Life podcast. Alinka, thank you for accepting our invitation to come in Amok Radio and in my podcast to share what's new. Follow Alinka on social media. Share her music.
Thank
Go
you
to
so
the
much.
party tonight. The party starts
Yes.
at midnight in Club Stanica Station 26.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
ready. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Thanks. Bye bye.